Okay, well, let's give this thing a shot. Don't know if anybody's going to be able to join me for this, but this is my first chance at doing a live video. Anybody got questions? Give me answers. I don't care. We'll talk about NASCAR. Let's get down watching the truck race. Better watch the Xfinity race. See what's going on. So if anybody's got questions, go ahead and ask. I'm trying to see. Is there a thing that shows up for a chat screen on this? Okay, no. Okay, yeah. I agree with everybody. Reggie Sald asked, who could surprise NASCAR tomorrow? I'll tell you who could surprise. And that would probably be Jamie McMurray. That guy could end up winning the race and no one's got him really picked. All right, Ricardo, why don't you create a Mexican NASCAR? Come on, Ricardo. You're my buddy and all, man, but we got Daniel Suarez in there. He's a good dude. I just don't know. NASCAR is a really expensive sport, man. It takes a lot of money. Hey, what's up, Cedric? How you doing, buddy? You know what could actually also be another surprise tomorrow is if Denny Hamlin, his girlfriend, ends up having a baby, Christopher Bell is going to be taking his place. There's one guy that had Christopher Bell in his picks, and I chatted him back saying, "Hey, are you sure about that?" And he was like, "Yeah, because if he's going to be the replacement driver, Christopher Bell, man, I mean that'd be crazy because that's a guy that's not eligible for the playoffs." And if he makes it in and wins, that's going to really make the race even more interesting. Oh, yeah, Michael McCulloch, how about Bubba Wallace, man? They need to give that man a ride. I've been saying it for over a year now. Bubba Wallace deserves to be a cup ride. I mean, Bubba can make moves. I think he could be Jimmy Johnson-esque. Not seven-time champion, but I think Bubba can go ahead and win some races. But yeah, I mean Bubba needs a chance. I mean, you saw that he did well replacing Eric Almirola. I mean, he had hiccups in his first race, but who doesn't? I mean, he did better than any freaking BK racing driver did this year. I mean, shit, Greg Golden couldn't even be a freaking Uber driver, you know. But yeah, give Bubba a chance. Does Carl Edwards come back? Jason asked. I don't think Carl Edwards comes back. I think he made his money and he's gone. Because I think if he was going to come back, he would have came back this year. Or now, you never know. Because he's been quiet. And Reggie asked, do you get into fantasy NASCAR? I used to do it. I'm thinking about getting back into it next year and doing it. I was just with the move at the beginning of the season, me moving from Maryland to Florida kind of messed me up from doing a lot of things. So I think next season I'll get back into it. I was in the league a couple times. Did all right. But I'm looking forward to getting back into it. And Ricardo, I'm not probably going to make any survival videos or anything. I don't see myself doing that for the foreseeable future. But you never know. God, there's a lot of freaking commercials for pre-race. Getting ready for the Xfinity race. Jason asks, Hendrick Motorsports has been weak this year. Do they step up in the playoffs? I think they do. I think it's going to be like, it could be like last year. Remember last year, Jimmy Johnson had like 2 wins in the beginning. And then I even made a video last year saying that, Hendrick was getting weaker and I thought they were on the decline. And the next thing you know in the chase, look what happened. Jimmy Johnson becomes a 7-time champion. All right. And Reggie, thank you for saying you like my videos. I appreciate it, brother. And yeah, I do think Hendrick steps it up in the playoffs. I think if Jimmy Johnson doesn't do nothing wrong, he makes it to Miami. He's the only one that can challenge Truex. Truex, you're penciling him into Miami right now. But I honestly think that, Jimmy Johnson's the only real threat of competition to him. I mean, I know Kyle Busch has a lot of playoff points, but I think it's really going to come down between Johnson and Truex in the end so far. But a lot of things can happen, you know. This whole new format with the stage racing and points has really made everything a lot more different. Okay, Mike asked, who's your pick for Mid-Ohio? Haven't really thought about it yet. I haven't even looked at the qualifying for them. We're looking at starting grid. I'll give you a chance in a minute. Okay, Jason says Truex should. Yeah, I mean, Truex has got so many points. I mean, you know, they take a near hiccup from him. I mean, this is his championship to lose. I agree with that. You know, Truex definitely is on the catbird seat for the championship. Let's see, who's racing? You know what? I'm going to go for the Xfinity race. I'm going to go ahead and just go Cole Custard on this one for Mid-Ohio. So if you got that marked down, I'll go Cole Custard on it. I won't go whole pick 4 on it. Jason thinks Sam Hornish probably going to win. Sam Hornish ain't a bad pick. And that is true. Truex would have been in the championship if he didn't crash out. Well, Talladega, that race last year with Truex was interesting. Because I remember that one distinctly, Colin Fowle and Joe Gibbs racing for that one. Because Truex had qualified for the pole for that Talladega race. Then he has a part confiscated in post-race qualifying. And then I believe I don't know if he crashed, but for some reason I'm thinking that he had an engine failure in Talladega. So I'm not too sure. But yeah, that was all funny, that Talladega race. That was one of the most, Joe Gibbs racing just totally irritated me that whole race. Because they had the 3 guys going in the back. And, you know, that whole thing. It was a weird deal, yeah. Truex, I think, could have won the championship last year. And yes, to answer Jeff's question, yeah, I did see Bubba going 3 wide. I was like, oh man, here we go. And Bubba's not even qualified for points. He's on a one-off driver, you know. Just won that race. I don't know what it is with the comments, but it just flashed for like a minute, so I'm trying to make sure I get everybody's comments and answer you guys' questions. Yeah, but Joe Gibbs Racing, that is one weird organization. I think they're almost dysfunctional. I mean, I feel bad for the drivers, to be honest with you. I mean, the drivers, you know, quality drivers they got there. But, you know, the things they do is, I mean, they don't understand with Joe Gibbs Racing, it's not a team sport. When one driver wins, does not mean that all the other drivers win. Sorry about that. I had a little thing in my throat. You know, they all look at individuals, not a team sport. As far as team, it goes crew chief, crew members, and the driver. That's the team. Not, you know, all 4 of them. You know, I just don't understand it with Joe Gibbs Racing. They're going to have a really good organization. You know, I used to like them a lot. And then they went to Toyota. And then, you know, they became an enemy. I always have an enemy in NASCAR. Believe it or not, at one point, because I was been a Dale Jr. fan the whole time, I used to be the enemy of Hendrick. If you saw these videos before 2008, if I made YouTube videos before 2008, I would have been saying, it says at the end saying, fuck Toyota, I would have been saying, fuck Hendrick, believe it or not. And then Dale Jr. rides for him, so now I root for Hendrick. Next year, I'm rooting for one of the Penske drivers. I haven't decided which one yet. Then, you know, I'll be a Penske guy. And I saw one person commented, but it kind of flashed off my screen. Yeah, YouTube has been having issues. And I was reading a thing on it where they're doing a lot of these videos is because of the whole Kaepernick thing and feminism and stuff. They're messing with a lot of channels. So things have got to go weird, you know. I don't understand it. I thought we had freedom of speech in this country. But I guess freedom of speech only works if everybody agrees with what you have to say, you know. I don't get it myself. And I saw another question, which is a good one, from Sage NASCAR 78. Why I hate Toyota. Okay, I'm going to explain to you guys right now. I hate Toyota because I miss it being Ford, Chevy, Dodge. You know, I like those 3 in there. I miss also, because one of my other things I did not like about Toyota was Camry was predominantly like a 4 and 6 cylinder car. And I believe in stock car racing, they all should be 8-cylinder cars that they have in production regularly stock. I know you can get a Camry with an 8-cylinder in it if you pay X amount of thousands of dollars. You can, if you've got money, you can make anything happen. But, that's just my thing. I'm just a traditionalist. Plus, Toyota, I have no problem with them as an auto manufacturer. Hey, they make a good car. But just saying, I took a Camry to victory lane is like taking your cousin to the prom. Just because you went to the big dance, can you really be proud of your date? I mean, come on. But I mean, Toyota does do a lot of good things to bring jobs into this country. So, I hate them in being in NASCAR. I don't hate them personally, Except I hate a lot of people that drive them. Like where I live at in the country, people that have Toyotas, you could tell are the tourists and out-of-towners and snowbirds. Because, they're all driving like little Priuses. Yeah, I mean, what happens with a Prius when it rains? Like, I mean, if those things hit like a puddle or something, does like all the electricity short out? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but other than that, the Toyota thing has nothing to do with them, because everybody always says to me, oh, you don't like them because they're from another country. It's like, that's really not the deal. I just want to be back Ford, Chevy, Dodge. I kind of miss it the way it used to be. But, once Toyota's out and Dodge comes back in, who knows? I'll find something new to hate. Trust me. If Toyota was gone, I guarantee you give me 24 hours and I'll be saying fuck something else at the end of every video. If it ain't one thing with me, it's another. I could be at a nice steakhouse and everything, eating a delicious steak. Haven't done that in years. And I complain about something. Oh, damn, AC unit. Shit. Hate that. Every time I try and do a video, like after race video, the AC unit kicks on. It's like, damn, that just delays time a little bit. So what Jeff said, amen, Toyota doesn't belong. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound right to me. I mean, nothing personal. I mean, they do a lot of great things. They're helping out with development and everything. Just doesn't sound right. I wish like Ford, Chevy, or Dodge would step up the way they do though. I do say that, Hopefully maybe when Dodge comes back, that they come back with a serious deal in this, and they just go full force in it. Okay, Jeff asks, will Dale win before the playoffs or at Talladega? I'll tell you right now, I'm hoping Dale wins Talladega. I'm right now losing a lot of hope that he will be in the playoffs. I mean, look, I'm a diehard Junior fan. My first race I ever watched was a Busch Series race, and I got hooked on NASCAR watching it. I said, well, whoever wins this race will be my favorite driver. And that happened to be Dale Earnhardt Jr., so I got lucky there. I actually saw Dale Jr. race before I ever saw his dad race, so, I got that. But, to get back to it, I just don't see Jr. making the playoffs. There's a lot of things missing with that team. Everybody says, well, Greg Ives is the problem. Greg Ives is part of the problem, but the problem is the whole team in general. Junior, I don't think is really in it. You got a young crew chief that needs to take a little more better control of the situation. Plus, I think also Dale Jr., he went downhill with two major things that happened in his career. That wreck when he was racing Corvettes back after his father passed away, and when he lost Tony Erie Sr. as crew chief. When those two things happened, Junior's stock just plummeted, the amount of wins. Because if he started off, he came out on fire in the beginning of his first couple of years. There was one time I remember in a race, watching the championship race in Miami, before we had to chase actually. The points were so tight that at one point he was actually going to be the champion. That's how good he was in the beginning. But the minute those two things happened, that's where Junior kind of just was never the same. I mean, if he still had Tony Erie Sr. as his crew chief, I think he would have had a championship. Or maybe if that crash didn't happen, he would have had a championship. Or possibly both. That's what I really think happened. But other than that, he's a good person. And the guy's had, over 20 wins, which is a pretty good career. We always go ahead and look at the people's fathers and stuff and then try to compare them. Like, with Kyle Petty. Everybody gives him shit. The guy had 8 wins. You know, that's nothing to sneeze at. There's a ton of thousands of guys that drive that never get wins. That never get wins. And, you know, the winning, you get a couple wins in the Cup Series, hey, nothing to hold your hat about. Junior needs Steve Letarte back. Yeah, him and Letarte did all right together. But, you know, I'm still baffled on that with Letarte. Him leaving how he did. I'm taking it that, you know, he just really wants to spend family time, do a part-time schedule. I like him in the booth, though. I mean, everybody in the booth is better than Darryl Waltrip. God, I cannot stand the Waltrips anymore for some reason. They just get on my nerves. I just don't get it. I mean, I wish on my TV I had a mute button just for Michael Waltrip's voice. I don't know what it is. I mean, you know, you can't argue that the Waltrips have passion, you know, but just don't know about them. They're just two weirdos. I just don't get it. Let's see. Just waiting. See, I wish this thing. I wish they could do it. I'm going to ask some other people to do live videos. If anybody knows it, let me know. How I just keep the comments off. Because I hate how it just flashes. I want to try and read your guys' comments and answer every question. You know, I saw one question that flashed up about dirt racing. I don't really follow it. That's one thing I'd like for them to do, though, is have the speed channel back. Bring the speed channel back in. And during the week, have the different races like dirt races and all these other races. There's racing on all the time, all over the place. Just have a whole racing channel. You know, I think it'd be a lot better because these major networks, they can't commit to NASCAR like the fans need them to. You know what I'm saying? So much goes on. You know, I mean, Fox is the most committed out the bunch, but they're only half the season, really. You know, and NBC, SN, I mean, oh God. Their commitment is less than stellar. I mean, they're doing a good job broadcasting, but it's still the same issue with commercials, you know, and the commentary on everything. That's another thing with the NASCAR commentary. They have way too many people in that booth. What they really need to do is have like a former driver or a former crew chief and just a regular play-by-play analyst. Just someone to kind of feed the information to them. Because when you got two drivers in there talking, you know, you got two guys that know what's going on. They're not really explaining stuff right, you know. It's just a weird, it's like eavesdropping on a really weird conversation. I mean, to me, my favorite commentators is Ken Squire and Ned Jarrett, that combination. That's why I look forward to Darlington every year, is to have those two guys. Because those two guys, you can close your eyes while they're broadcasting a race and know what's going on the track. They're that good at talking. You know, I just don't get it, you know. Like, when you have a crew, like with Steve Letarte and Jeff Burton, they're both nice guys. I mean, they do a good job, but you just can't have two guys like that. You know, you need to have one of those. You need to have, like, Rick Allen in one. Sorry, I needed some tea. My throat was getting dry. That's all I drink. I don't actually just, can I answer some other people's questions? I actually don't drink at all. I'm actually severed celebrated 3 years of sobriety the other day. And, yeah, I don't drink, period. I actually don't even drink sodas anymore. I just drink sweet tea and water. Mostly sweet tea. The other night. Man, damn, they do a lot of commercials for pre-race. See what's going on here. Oh, they're interviewing the young guys. Yeah, that's right. This race in Mid-Ohio last year, that was a rain race. Forgot about that. Yeah, I remember that because I missed it because I had to freaking work that day. I mean, that just irritated me that I missed that because I've been wanting to see a race in the rain. Can't tell how many times. I mean, one of these days they'll figure out how to get it for NASCAR. I mean, it's going to take some engineering ability and a commitment on Goodyear to do it. But it could happen. If anybody's got questions, go ahead and feel free to ask them. Hopefully things pop up back on the screen. I still can't stand that they don't pop up like the way I'd like them to. Man. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Sam Horse Jr.'s in there. Oh, he's doing Penske. Oh, man. Okay, maybe I might want to. No, I'm still gonna stick with Custer to win. Yeah, see if you guys have any racing questions or any other questions in general. I don't care. I'll answer them all. Okay, Jeff asks, I'll be at the track tomorrow. I'll make a sign. What do you want it to say? Okay, I see. Ooh, that's a good question. See, I know I don't want you to make one saying fuck Toyota because I don't want you to get in trouble, and I know they'll never show that on TV. Um, Put down one Bubba Wallace for Cup. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. I'm seeing. What are your Stage NASCAR asked? What are your true feelings on Logano? I like Joey Logano's style on racing. I like that his attitude is starting to get better. The only thing I did not like about him is in that Kansas situation. I felt that could have been handled better. I felt like he got bad advice from his team. If him and Kenseth had just that after that one race had confronted each other, handled their business in the beginning, it would never have escalated to that point to where Kenseth got suspended for 2 races. I like Logano. I mean, it's between Keselowski and Logano to be my favorite driver starting next year. Basically, what I'm doing is a points thing from. I got it written down in a notebook. I got to update it actually and go through some races. I forgot about writing it down, but it's either gonna be like Logano or Keselowski is my favorite driver starting next year when Junior retires. But, I mean, I like Logano. He's one of those few money silver spoon kids that actually made something of themselves. Got a problem with that in NASCAR. Like, look at Greg Golding. You know, that was a mistake. Okay, Jeff says, go Larson, not Keselowski or Logano. God, why can't it? See, I hate that. Go Larson. Okay, you're a Larson fan. Hey, there's nothing wrong with Larson. I always like saying his name. Larson. Larson's a badass on the track, man. How do you feel about the 2015 Chase race at Talladega? I mean, 2015. Was that? Wait, you mean was that last year's race? Are we talking last year's race where Logano won with having the jack underneath his car, and I was pissed with the Toyotas. They were finishing the 30th. Let me know if that's the one you're talking about. 'Cause I don't remember the one in 2015. I remember 2016. Oh, Harvick wrecked everyone. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Are you talking about the Talladega? Oh, you talking about Harvick wrecked everyone in that Talladega race in 2015? Is that what happened? I don't even remember. I'll have to look that up. God, damn message thing, man, it's killing me. Yeah, I like to know what happened in that 2015 race. If you're talking about, was that the one that Harvick wrecked? Okay, yeah, Logano. Okay, alrighty. So Logano won Junior second. Okay, yeah, now I remember that one. Okay, yeah, Logano. I remember that. Now I remember the 2015 Talladega race. Okay, now I remember that. That's the one where Logano ended up sweeping that whole round of the chase, and they decided to only do one green white checker, only one overtime shot at it, and it looked like Junior could have won that race, but they threw the caution too early. That now I remember that race. Yes, now that one. Yeah, that was a hurtful one. Okay, now hold on, I'm trying to load up the comments again. I know I saw some good questions, and now I'm trying to get them back, show back up. Okay, NASCAR guy 24 who also has a vlog channel like mine asks, "What are your thoughts on the season so far?" So far, it's been okay. I mean, I like to be better. I don't like how the stages are, but look at the season as a whole. And to answer Harry's question, yes, I do like the truck race today. It was really good. I like the fact that it was competitive. You had different people going up and down. That's why I want our race. I want everybody. I want not just one guy leading the whole race. I want some drama. I want back and forth action. And I thought it was good. Not move with about a little less than 20 to go. The Bubba Wallace made, taking it 3 wide to get the lead, and then holding off them Kyle Busch Toyotas, which those things are badass fast trucks, to win. I mean, that was impressive. I mean, that was a good race. Okay. Who do you think is the best pure driver out there right now? Sneaky Frank asked. That's a good question. I mean, I'm going to say right now that the best driver right now that's overall, it's got to be Truex Jr. He's doing the best. I mean, and I don't like, and this is coming from a guy that doesn't like Toyotas, but he is, so far right now, he's the best. He's doing great everywhere. You know, got to be Truex. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Okay, Jake says, "Hey, Charlie, how's it going? Hey, Jake, how you doing, buddy?" Yeah, but to get back to Sneaky Frank's, so far as Truex Jr. has been the best driver so far this season, pure driver. I mean, Kyle Busch is a close second. I mean, Kyle Busch, he is a great restart. I mean, best at restarts in my opinion in the sport. I, you know, but I think Truex slightly just not me. Okay, Jake asked, "Are Stenhouse's 2 wins just a fluke?" I'm beginning. I don't know. He might just be a great plate racer. Stenhouse Jr. is. The one thing I like about him winning is I'm hoping him winning will piss off Danica enough that she quits. That's what I really hope to get out of Stenhouse's 2 wins. He might just be. I think he might just be a great plate racer. You know, part of plate racing though is it takes luck to win all these races. You need luck. In today's NASCAR, luck plays a factor. You gotta not only hope to have a fast car, but you gotta hope the people driving around you don't wreck you. Then you also gotta hope that your pit crew doesn't mess up. You gotta hope you don't have mechanical issues. Luck plays a lot of factor in these races too. But with Stenhouse, I take every victory he's got as another nail in the coffin of Danica Patrick's career. The sooner she's out, the better, And for that 10 car, I'm thinking Cole Custer might get in it, either next season or the season after. I'm also hoping if they don't, they want to put a veteran in there, go ahead and put Kenseth in there. I think Kenseth would actually do good. Okay. Sage NASCAR 78 asks, "I think this has been great. Ryan Newman, Casey Kane won their first races in a while. Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse, and Wimby all got their first career wins." Yeah, I do like the parity. The parity in this sport with different guys winning and different things happening, I think is great for the sport to have parity. Not to have the same guy every week and win every week and week out. I think parity is great for the sport. We got to have it. If it's the same guy winning every time, it just gets boring, and that's what turns people off. I mean, I'll still watch. I love NASCAR, so much that, even when things infuriate me or make me mad, or if I know a race is going to be a kind of a dud or a crappy one, I still watch it. I watch religiously, And every once in a while you get pleasantly surprised. Like, I thought, and I even said in the pre-race video this season for the race in Indy, I thought I was going to be a snoozer. I really thought that I was going to watch Kyle Busch lead for 200 straight laps and take a checkered flag. That's what I thought was going to happen. I honestly thought it was going to happen. Then lap 50 came around, and then, like I said earlier, talking, the teammate thing is ridiculous. Truex and Kyle Busch, they should have raced everybody hard from the beginning of that race to find out what you other got. Because you're mid-race like that, and then you decide, okay, now it's time to take the gloves off. The gloves already should have been off a long time ago. I think people should race just as hard as lap 1 all the way to lap 200, but that's just my opinion on it. I think, honestly, that whole situation could have been avoided. But, hey, it is what's going to happen. Let's see, okay. Jake asked, do you think Casey should get a full-time ride in 2018? I think he should. I mean, we don't have enough quality drivers out there to even fill a 40-car field anymore. I remember when I first started watching NASCAR, it was a 43-car field, and at the bottom of the track goes ahead and there'd be on the bottom of the thing and say there'd be 2 or 3 drivers not qualifying. Then they reduced it to 40 last season when I first started doing videos, and I was mad about it, saying I missed it being 43. Well, now I look like an idiot because we can't even get 40 cars half the time on the track. Half the time it's 38, 39. Well, actually more like 36. I really don't count BK Racing. I mean, I like to see it go back to 40, but, who knows what's going to happen. Okay. Jeff says, I think Stenhouse could make the final round. Other chasers wreck in the first round. He wins Talladega in round 2. Finds his way to Homestead, though. I don't know if Stenhouse makes it out of round 1, to be honest with you. If he makes it all the way to where I believe is the 3rd round of the playoffs where Talladega will be at. No, Talladega is the 2nd round. That's right. Talladega is the 2nd round. So if he makes that, I don't think he makes it all the way to Miami. I mean, maybe he makes it to the 2nd round and wins Talladega and makes it the 3rd round. He's not making it to Miami. Now, if he makes it to Miami and wins the championship somehow, some way, then hey, the only good thing I can say that came out of that is Danica Patrick definitely ain't coming back to racing. All right, Sneaky Franks asks, what do you hate or dislike the most? What driver do you hate or dislike the most? God, that's a good question. Who do I hate the most? I hate Danica Patrick the most. And I know I was going to say, because I know you all were hoping for a Toyota driver. No, I just hate the manufacturer. That's all I really hate. I hate Danica Patrick the most is because, number one, she is taking a cut right away from somebody, and people have been fired for less. I remember when Michael Waltrip Racing went out of business, and Clint Boyer and David Reagan were going to be potentially out of a job. Obviously, they found rides, and they got jobs and everything. But they were going to be potentially out of jobs. That same week it happened. I remember reading on the newsreel, Danica Patrick signed an extension for sponsorship. And I'm thinking, like, how the fuck did that happen? This bitch can't even get a win or a top 10, and yet you got competent drivers that can't even keep a ride. I mean, shit. I mean, that bitch needs to get the fuck out of the sport. 6 years, if you can't do something right in 6 years, you need to do shit. Do something else. You know what? In 6 years, if I can't drive a car, you can't fucking drive. The bitch should just go somewhere. I mean, I don't know what she could do with herself, I guess you'd have to ask Ricky about that. But, I mean, crazy. Okay. When did you, NASCAR 24 guy asked, when did you first become interested in NASCAR? Okay, it was first week of April 1998. Watching the Busch Series race, which is now known as Xfinity. And I was watching the race. I was homesick. It was a Saturday, because I had to go work that day, because I worked at a gas station when I was a kid. And I was homesick. I was laying in bed, flipping around the channels. And I watched my first race, and I said, whoever becomes my favorite driver, whoever wins the race becomes my favorite driver. And lucky for me, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. So I've been on the Dale train ever since, all the way till the end in Homestead. Okay, let's get this thing on. Okay. Jake says, Final Four, Truex, Kyle Busch, Harvick, Keselowski. I like 3 out of the 4 of those. I don't think Harvick makes it. But then again, if he gets out of third round where Phoenix says he could, I think Johnson's in. I think these playoff points are going to pretty much set the top 4 for us. I think that's going to happen. I already think it's going to be Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, and Martin Truex Jr. to be so far the 3. And whoever's the next most points will get into that 4th spot. All right, see that. Okay, Jeff says Stenhouse just needs to make her pregnant. Then she has to quit. Well, there's one problem with trying to impregnate Danica Patrick there, Jeff. I don't know if you realize that they're not looking at her, but she looks like Steven Tyler with Botox. I mean, she might be a dude. For all we know, her real name is David Patrick, and she was the original Caitlyn Jenner's. So, I mean, hey, I'll tell you right now, they're not going to have 2 kids because, I doubt anybody's going to want to knock her up twice. I mean, the bitch ain't got no titties, no ass. I mean, I was looking like, damn, holy shit. Looks like Mr. Mackey from fucking South Park walking. Okay, Sage NASCAR 78 asks, have you seen Junior's Homestead car? Yes, I have seen Junior's Homestead car. That thing looked nice. I liked it. If I had the money, disposable income, I would go ahead and buy it. Not buy the actual physical race car, but buy the die-cast model. Those things usually run about like $150, $200. And I just saw someone comment, yeah, Jake says Kansas for the 10 car. That's what I think too. The thing Kansas should do is drive the 10 car for a year or 2 until Custer's ready, and then Custer takes over that car. And that way it gives Kansas a proper send-off, because I hate to see anybody go down like that, Because Kansas is a good driver. I mean, he makes the chase every year. He's competitive, I just don't get it. But then again, what do I know? Bubba to the 41. Hey, Sneaky Franks. Amen, brother. We're not mean. Hey, Bubba to the 41 car. Hey, hope it happens. That's a ride for him. It's kind of hoping, in a way, when they announced that Blaney was going to move over to the Penske for the 3rd car, they would put Bubba and the Wood brothers. Because those 2 men together are hilarious. If anybody knows Shiny Knife, tell him that I'm doing a live video, because he keeps on sending me messages on Twitter. Do you still think Logano can make the chase? He's starting 2nd at Michigan, a track he's good at. Well, I hope he does, because I haven't picked a win tomorrow, I believe. And I think he makes the chase. I think he'll get a win. I think he'll win Richmond if he doesn't win Michigan. I think Junior honestly is going to take a luck and a miracle for him to make the chase now. I hate to say it. I mean, I'm a diehard Junior fan. I love Junior. At the beginning of the season, I was rooting for him to win a championship. It's not going to happen. I mean, it's clear to me that, health is a factor. It's either health or desire, one of the 2 things. Because the desire in life, if you have a good quality equipment, will get you a win. Guys got to want it. I mean, Kyle Busch, as much as I don't like some of his antics and his attitude, I do like the fact that guy loves to win every week, and he's competitive. He's competitive. I mean, he'll complain like hell. I mean, damn, that guy complains. But, guy's competitive. Okay, Logano's also pretty good at Bristol night race. That could be a win for him, too. That's true. Logano could win the night race at Bristol. I'm thinking that a Hendrick guy is probably winning Bristol. I think it's either going to go to Jimmy or, I also know it could be a potential last chance for Dale to win, too. But who knows? Penske, Logano, ever since that incident happened at Richmond, I'm not going to even say the word, because I hate that word. But ever since then, it was just kind of been downhill for him. He hasn't really been the same on the track at all. I mean, Kozlowski's bouncing back a little bit. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I'm still not like, I'm going to talk to someone tonight that does live videos, I know. Guess that way your comments show up better. Oh yeah, just to let y'all know, I got these at Walmart. Fried Twinkies. You put them in the oven for like 8 minutes. Tastes just as good as a fair. Okay, Sage Nascar says, I think Kurt Busch in the 43, Amarillo moved to another petty car, Bubba in the 44, and Kez the 41. Oh, God. Cole Custer takes over the 6, and Trevor Bayne goes to the 10. All that all makes sense, and hey, that'd be great for me if that happens. One way or another, Bubba gets in there. Kenneth asks, what are your thoughts on the Chevy Camaro for next year? I love the Chevy Camaro for next year. I'm glad they're going to an 8-cylinder. I hope Ford brings back the Mustang up into the Cup Series. So we're going to have actual 8-cylinder cars being represented in there. Having the Ford representing the Fusion it doesn't sit right with me. If it wasn't Toyota and NASCAR, if it wasn't for that, I think I'd be saying fuck Fusion at every race. Okay? Bane won't leave and Kurt won't leave. Kurt might be leaving because he doesn't have a contract. They might be trying to go cheaper on him. That's why I think maybe Bubba might get that 41 out as previously mentioned. Okay. Sneaky Freddy, what's my favorite track? My favorite track is Daytona. I love plate racing. And it's the crown jewel. To me, Daytona, I wish they'd do is have the season start there in February, then have it end there instead of Miami in November. But, because it'd make more sense to have the Daytona race in November, because rainy season will be done. We don't have to worry about rain washing it out or delaying it. Okay, NASCAR, what do you think of the silly season so far? Silly season's been just awkward for me. I didn't like the way how Kansas kind of got pushed out, but I understand why it happened. It's just kind of moving slow. I wish what NASCAR would do for the silly season is make it more accessible so fans know who's involved and who could be a free agent. Because when I tried to do the silly season video, it took me 2 days worth of getting online to research and trying to find out. All these websites had conflicting information. So, it is what it is. Okay. Falconer, have I ever been to any races? No, I have not. Every time I've gone to a race, either at Dover or Richmond, it's been rained out and I had to go to work the next day. So, I've never physically been to one. I'm hoping to go to Miami this year, because I only live 5 hours away from Miami now that I moved down to Florida. If not, I'm going to Daytona 500 in February. One of those two things is happening. Okay. Kurt Busch back to French Road in 77. That could happen. Casey Kane in the 77 is what I thought was going to happen. Oh, honestly. And I just saw someone also said, oh, damn. Yeah, and Sneaky Frank also said Christopher Bell to 77. That might happen because I think Christopher Bell is going to end up getting a cup ride. They seem to really like him. Yeah, Jake even said, hey, I hope Christopher Bell gets a full-time Xfinity or Cup ride in 2018. Guy's a beast. He is a good beast. And Jeff, yep. I don't know if y'all caught this earlier on in the video. I was talking about you, Jeff. I don't know if you were watching or not. But Jeff is the one to put Christopher Bell in his top in his pick 4. Has him going first. And I sent a message back to him like, are you sure? Because, do you do pick 4s for somebody else? And you were doing like, I don't know. So he said, yeah, I'm sure. With Denny Hamlin's girlfriend, he might be the replacement driver. So, hey, I'm honoring it. Hey, if that dude, Christopher Bell, wins the race, hey, he's going to look like a real genius. But then again, you also got to think about if they're going to do a driver switch in the middle of that race, that's going to hurt Bell because they'll go a lap or 2 down from that. So you got to hope that if Bell's going to be in it, they do it before the race starts instead of a driver switch. Because a driver switch, I don't think he's going to be able to recover from. All right, let's check this. Yeah, hey, Christopher Bell might get to 77. I'm still going to hold on my pick that I think Casey Kane will get to 77. But, from what I heard from another person that Hendrick's trying to help out, Casey Kane get a job with a Hendrick affiliate. Yeah, Jake, I agree. If Bell wins tomorrow, he will be in a cup ride for sure. If Bell wins tomorrow, he might be in a cup ride for the rest of the season. There's rides that could be put into with no problem. You know, with BK racing Toyotas, you know, Joe Gibbs could work ideas like, hey, your drivers are shitty over here anyway. You got Brett Moffitt's good. Quick, put Bell in for the rest of the season and give him some experience. So that could happen. I think if Bell wins tomorrow, he's in the race next week. He'll be out of the trucks immediately. Okay, see what it says. NASCAR 24 guy said, do you think Richard Petty Motorsports should reopen operation for 40? Yes, anything that involves Bubba Wallace getting a cup rod, I say yes to. Okay, Jeff says, I'll be at the race tomorrow. I hope either Larson or Bell, Blaney or Boyer wins. All right, Jeff. Yeah. I don't think Bell wins, but if he does, man, you'll get a shout out. You'll get a free knife, and I'll W the psychic NASCAR predictor, because that's a long shot pick. No, actually, this would be some worse long shot picks, but hey, if he wins, that'd be something. Okay, Sage NASCAR 78 says they're saying BK Racing is in financial troubles and they might not be coming back next year. That's what I heard. Them and Floyd Mayweather are both having troubles with the IRS. And unlike Floyd Mayweather, I don't think BK Racing is going to find a Conor McGregor to help boost them back up. So with that, I think BK Racing, I'm kind of sad. I'm sad for the employees. I'm not sad for the management. Because that is one mismanaged team that I've ever seen when it comes to drivers. You got to give a drivers at least 2 or 3 years when you have a new team to develop. You can't keep just shooting them in and out like toilet paper. Their most successful driver, actually, believe it or not, has been Alex Bowman. He raced for him 1 year and was a top 20 driver in that. If you're a top 20 driver for a BK Racing, you're a top 10 driver for any cup ride, any legitimate top tier cup ride, because those cars are just they're not fast. They're a participation trophy. Okay, Jake says Menard to the 21 could be a very interesting move. That is true. Menard in the 21, that is interesting. I'm not sure what to make of it. I don't know. I don't think he's as good as Ryan Blaney, but who knows? Okay, Sneaky Franks asked, Mayweather or McGregor? Sorry if it gets a little dark. I had to go into my kitchen and get myself some more tea. Okay, for y'all that don't know me, my second favorite thing to watch other than NASCAR. When I'm not watching NASCAR, I usually like to watch fights. All right, I'm a big UFC fan. And I'll tell you like this. Mark it down. Round 4. Conor McGregor is going to knock the fuck out of Floyd Mayweather. He will straight murk him. Mayweather is going to get dominated by McGregor. All right? I've always discounted McGregor saying, oh, he can't beat this guy. He straight up knocks people out. Watch his fights. He fights a lot. A lot of the dudes he fights are a lot bigger than he is, and he straight up murks them. McGregor will knock out Mayweather. Okay, Jeff, you saying Mayweather for sure. This means you're crazy. I'm just kidding, Jeff, but yeah, I know a lot of people are picking Mayweather, but I'm going with McGregor. Okay, do you think that... Jake asked, and this is a really good question, do you think Ty Dillon will leave the 13 to RCR to replace Menard? I think if they get sponsorship for it, he's over replacing Menard. Now, the 13 car, that might be an interesting one. That's something I can see like a Kurt Busch getting into or a Casey Kane getting into. Also, is that 13 car if Ty Dillon leaves. Okay, let's see what's the next one. Sage asks, are you a fan of WWE? I used to be a fan of pro wrestling. I stopped watching that whole thing with Chris Benoit happened. After that, I had enough of it, and then I watched a UFC event, and I got hooked on UFC. And I haven't watched pro wrestling since. The only reason I even have any remotely interest in it is because Brock Lesnar comes back to the UFC every now and again. Do I watch football? Yes, I do watch football. I am not sure if I'm going to watch pro football this season. All I watched was the Super Bowl last year because I didn't watch it, obviously, because of the Colin Kaepernick situation. I'm also a big college football fan, Florida State Seminoles. My pro football team is the Miami Dolphins. So, yeah, I don't really get into football until after NASCAR season is. I really won't watch. I'm all NASCAR. NASCAR dominates the TV. I don't care what's going on, what's happening. I mean, there's a couple times I haven't gone to the beach when nice weather is because I wanted to make sure to watch the race. You know. But I do like football. I like Florida State. I like the Dolphins. So that pretty much means fuck the New York Jets. If I was Charlie football instead of Charlie NASCAR, I'd be saying fuck the Jets after every race or after every game. Okay, Jake says, I think my favorite win of the year in the series is Ryan Priest's Xfinity win. That was a good win. My favorite was Cole Custer's. No, actually, no. I take that back. No. William Byron's win in Indy was my favorite. William Byron's win in Indy was definitely my favorite. The only thing, hey, did y'all notice when William Byron won the race in Indy? Do you notice it was the only one that noticed that he was the only one kissing the bricks? Like there was nobody there but him. He was all by himself. Am I the only one that thought that was awkward? Oh God. Yeah, but Ryan Priest is an interesting guy's name to say. He became when he won, man. This whole thing was on Twitter about his name, which I didn't understand. Yeah, I was watching a commercial for that movie Logan Lucky. I might actually go watch that, or find a bootleg copy somewhere. Okay, Jeff did say that was just a photo op. They all got to kiss the bricks. Okay. Yeah, okay, so he wasn't the only one doing it. Okay, thank you, Jeff. And Sage says, yeah, the Chris Benoit thing changed professional wrestling. I agree with you, Sage. I used to be a big pro wrestling fan. I was all hooked into it. I was hooked in from a kid. I remember back when Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant. I mean, I was big into it. And then the way the plot goes with it all was starting to get annoying. And the whole thing with Chris Benoit, and then they had the whole thing with Vince McMahon was faking his death. I was just like, this shit's just it's getting to be too much nonsense for me, and I just kind of got irked with it. But I mean, pro wrestling. I mean, when I watched pro wrestling, my favorites were like, back in the olden days, I liked Hacksaw Jim Duggan going, oh, and I like Stone Cold Steve Austin, because back then I was a drinker too. I like the way he drank beers all the time and got hammered drunk. And how about The Rock, man? That dude's in every freaking movie, and he got to start in pro wrestling. I mean, I saw like 5 different movie commercials, and he was 4 of those movies. I don't know if Rock will ever come back to pro wrestling, or he ever has. But, he definitely made a great career out of the movie thing. Oh, man, let's see. I missed another question. What is your favorite racetrack to watch? Yeah, that's a good question. It's Daytona. That is my favorite. I love the Daytona race. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you caught it. I think that honestly, that should be where the championship should be at too, is Daytona. Because by then, rainy season's already over in Florida. Instead of having the mess we have in July, we should put some other race. What we should do is put for that July 4th weekend, do the Charlotte race up there. That'd probably be it. That would fix it all. That way we don't have to worry about rain delays. Florida, July, August, no, June, July, and August, no NASCAR race should be in Florida with rainy season. Okay, say Josh, What do you think about CM Punk getting another fight in the UFC? And do you think Ronda Rousey is done with the UFC? I don't think CM Punk should get another. No, I think CM. No, I take that back. CM Punk deserves a second chance. You know, he probably had some jitters. You know, everybody gets jitters. I mean, Brock Lesnar lost his first UFC fight pretty quickly. You know, he should deserve a second chance. You know, fuck it. Drills in France. And yes, I do think Ronda Rousey is done in the UFC. I don't think she's coming back. She's made too much money, and I noticed her fiance, Travis Brown, has been fighting like every 2 or 3 months, so he's probably trying to get as much money saved up as they can. And I think she's done. I think she might go pro wrestling. She could do that, make money. But I think she's done with the UFC. Okay, what is your favorite food? Whew, that's a good question. What is my absolute favorite? Oh, pepperoni pizza. Hands down, thin crust. Pepperoni pizza. I usually get double pepperoni when they have a 2-topping special. Pepperoni is, yeah. Pepperoni pizza is, yeah, that's hands down. Okay, NASCAR Guy 24 Hours. What do you think of Junior's chances at Michigan this week? I don't think they're good. He's starting 19th. If he was starting inside the top 15, I'd give him a chance of winning. I don't think he's doing it. All right. Shiny Knife. Buddy, I finally got the live thing to work. And how about Bubba today? Yeah, I was happy about Bubba winning. I know you just caught in there. But, man, I'm happy. Get that man in a cup ride. Saw a couple people in the comment section going, saying, hey, put him in the 41 car. That actually, to me, more I've been thinking about it since it was mentioned to me earlier on in this live chat, that it should go. Jake says, hey, Kenseth to the 10, Kurt Busch to the 13, Bubba to the 41. Jake, that all makes sense. I mean, what you just said, that whole rotation makes sense, and it'll all work out well. And I think it'd be good for each one of those drivers. Okay, yeah, some people were talking about that earlier, Shiny Knife, about Casey Kane maybe going to the 13. That makes sense because he'd run Chevys. Yeah, because GMS, that is Germain Motorsports, right? Okay, now what does GMS stand for? Ooh, that's a good question. If Dale Jr. hadn't never gotten into racing, who do you think would have been your favorite NASCAR driver? Oh man, that is a good question. See, who would have been my favorite driver? See, starting back that early, I might have ended up becoming a Kenseth fan. Yeah, that would probably have been Kenseth. Because him and Junior ran Xfinity together. They were competitors. Yeah, so I might have been a Kenseth fan if Junior never ran. Dude, that was a good question there, Falconer. That was a good question. I never thought about that one. If Junior never got into racing, who would be your favorite driver? Whew, that was a stumper. Yeah, I think it would have been Kenseth, though. Okay, Shine Up said it's Gallagher Racing. Okay. Hey, if Hendrick's Flint and the bill to have an alliance with them, anything could happen. Because I think you're the one that told me about the story. Hendrick is looking to build a team of the alliance and get Casey a job. Because I found out in an interview with Hendrick still got to pay Casey for 2018 apparently. So that's interesting. Which I don't understand how that works. I mean, I always thought drivers got paid by how they finished, like they got a percentage of the winnings, but I guess I'm wrong. So, yeah, I just saw the Xfinity wreck at the side. Damn, that car went right up in the wall. Okay, Sage NASCAR, do you own a car or truck? I own it. An SUV, I guess I own a Chevy Suburban with a 454 in it. I thought that was important to message for some reason about what the motor size was. Go ahead and rewind, Shiny Knife. Go ahead and Shiny Knife. Damn. You know what? The one thing I'm glad for, man, is I'm always happy no matter who the driver is when they get out safely. I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. Damn, that thing, he's got that thing up all over the tire wall, onto the wall, through the fence. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. It looked like it did move the wall a little bit, but hey, that wall is designed to have a little bit of give to it. If it was a solid wall, I think didn't move, that collision might have hurt him more. But damn, it's crazy. That is a crazy wreck. Glad he walked away from it. Yeah, it's an older one. It's the mid '90s, man. I love it, man. Especially out here living in the country. It's nice because all the speed limits out here are like 65, 70 miles an hour. Now, and it does great on gas. I mean, it was my dad's truck and I bought it from him. He was complaining how it only got like 10, 11 miles a gallon, so he bought himself a Trailblazer. I bought it. I've been filling it up regularly. And I'm getting like 16, 17 miles to the gallon in that bad boy. It's freaking sweet. All right, I know someone else has asked me a question. Falconers 2017, how did you get into NASCAR? Yeah, you might have missed it on earlier. A couple people have asked me. I was homesick back in the first week of April of 1998. Watched what's called the Busch Series, was originally known that Xfinity Series race, but it was originally known the Busch Series. Got hooked into watching NASCAR. I said, whoever wins this race, I'll be a fan of. And Dale Jr. ran the race, won the race. I'm sorry, and that's who became my favorite driver. Okay. Shino says I have a 1990 Fox body Mustang with a 306, and I'm pretty quick for a small. I bet. That sounds sweet, Shiny Knife. I know you're a big Mustang guy, and I know we were talking about it the other day. Cause me and Shiny Knife, guys, if you don't know, me and him have been friends now ever since I started this channel, and we're chip back and forth, man. Shiny Knife is a huge Mustang fan. I think for Shiny Knife, his greatest thing will happen to him if Ford brings the Mustang back to Cup. Shiny Knife will agree. Mustang needs to come back to Cup. I agree with him. Jeff says, I have a 96 Camry that makes 25 miles to the gallon. Okay, yeah. It should be. Okay. Jake says, nobody in my family owns a Toyota or a Chevy. Hey, it is what it is. Okay, Julian Martin, nasty oily white trash. I don't know what that last thing means. But yeah. Okay. See China say, yep. NASCAR 24. NASCAR 24 guy says, if Dale Earnhardt Sr. was still around, oh god, damn thing. If Dale Earnhardt Sr. was still around, what do you think he would of the sport with all the new changes and stuff? I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't know Dale Sr. too well as a fan of the sport. Really didn't watch him race too much. So, I mean, I don't know what he would think of it. I wonder, though, if he was still alive. Hey, if he was still alive, I don't think Dale Jr. would be with Hendrick, though. That's just my thoughts. Yeah, Viking fan. I ain't even worried about it, Jake. And they're still cleaning up from that accident. Oh, Elliott Sadler's up close to front. All right. I wonder how drivers really feel about it when they get interviewed while they're sitting in the car. Yeah. Okay, got Jake asked me, do you think Chase Elliott will get a win before the season ends? I think he could. I mean, there's always a chance. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he did make the chase last year, and it looks like he might point his way in this year. So anything could happen. But, Chase makes it hay. In your opinion, what's the worst wreck you've ever seen? The one wreck I seen was Jimmy Johnson back in Watkins Glen when he crashed right into the wall. 'Cause no, I don't know if that's the worst one I've ever seen. I gotta think about that one. Sean, I said, Sean, I was saying, I'm hoping Chase will win a shot at Michigan. He might do well at Michigan, Shiny Knife. I don't know. NASCAR 24 says, I have a 2004 Chevy. Yeah, that's actually the same vehicle my dad bought. He likes it. Okay, there you go. Richard Petty at Daytona, I tell you, that was the worst wreck you ever seen. Still trying to think of the worst wreck I ever seen. God. I can't think. There's been a lot of bad ones. I'm going to have to really think on that one. Okay, says I liked it. Newman and Kane had won this year. Yeah, it would be nice if Murray got a one too. And yeah, Jake, I agree. Those Penske boys are fast. They're fast in qualifying and got one too. I was surprised to see that. God, I'm still trying to think what the worst wreck I've ever seen was. Actually, I think the worst wreck I remember seeing recently was the one where McMurray was on fire. No, actually, no, I take that back. I think the worst one is when Clint Boyer finished upside down at Daytona. That'd probably been the worst one I've ever seen. God, there's been so many of them. It's like, God, that's like really hard to pick through. Austin Dillon at Daytona, that was terrible. Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, Truex is bad fast. I wouldn't be surprised if Truex Jr. wins a couple stages. Yeah, I was talking earlier in the broadcast. Truex Jr. is pretty much locked in. See, China says, wasn't there a bad crash in the truck race in Bristol where the truck came apart? Wouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty sure there's been a couple times where trucks came apart in a wreck. It's the thing with the sport, there's been so many of them. I think the worst wreck ever in the sport was when not Cal, but Adam Petty wrecked in a practice race, I believe at Pocono, or no, it was New Hampshire, and passed away. That was probably the worst thing that's ever happened as far as wreck wise. Oh, yeah. Sage NASCAR brought up a good one. Michael McDowell qualifying crash at Texas. Yeah, I forgot about that one. No, I think that the McDowell one you're saying here, Sage, is actually the worst one. Is another contender for the worst one ever. Oh, you know, it's another bad one was Juan Pablo Montoya and the jet dryer. That was a bad one. That was a horrible one. Scott, what are some bad ones too? I mean, the one we lost, Dale Sr. was obviously a bad one too. Remember seeing that one. Yeah, that's right. He fucked that car up. I still can't figure out how he did that. But hey, you know what though? Juan Pablo Montoya, the guy's a good, hell of a racer. Dude's doing great in IndyCar. Danica is so bad she wouldn't even succeed. Danica is so bad at racing that she wouldn't even succeed in the 48 car. Yeah, that is true. Danica wouldn't even succeed. Period. She wouldn't even do good in a Gibbs car, in a Gibbs Toyota. Okay, you guys are saying it's lagging? Okay. I wonder if it's me. Hold on. Just bear with me a second. I'm looking outside. Okay. Yeah, I live out in the country, guys. So I don't know whether there's clouds coming. Nope, we're good. It's clear. Yeah, mine's starting to lag. Oh, it's better now? Okay. Yeah, we're supposed to get storms sometime today, so I don't know whether the clouds are starting to cover over. Having that damn satellite internet, man, it sucks. So bad. Okay, do you ever think a woman would win a NASCAR race? Yes, I think it's possible for a woman to be successful in racing. I just think they have the wrong woman in there. I think Danica, she was bad from day one. I mean, Kyle Petty even knew it was bad. You know, I think there's good women drivers out there. What was your favorite surprise winner in a cup race? Okay, I'll tell you a funny story. In my first marriage, I had to go pick up her family from this family fun center in Florida one time, and I missed the end of this race. It was a Daytona race. I asked the guys like, "Hey, did you watch the end?" I was waiting for him to get done because I missed the end, and he said, "Yeah, Greg Biffle won." I'm like, "Really?" And I didn't believe it. I thought the guy was joking that Greg Biffle won a race, and I cursed the guy out. Thought he was fucking me. I mean, I was hammered drunk. I used to be a really bad alcoholic. And I yelled and cussed him. I got kicked out of the family fun center. All because of that. And I just remember that. Greg Biffle? I mean, this is before Greg Biffle was winning races and we all realized how good he was. Chris Buescher at Pocono. Yeah, that was another surprise winner. That was a good one. Yep, Sage, you're right. That was the 2003 Pepsi 400. That'd make sense. Yeah, that was the craziest thing. That was crazy. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and see how well this thing works, or see how my outdoor internet works. Sweet, awesome. Okay, hopefully this thing is still working. Guys, I look out for the cloud cover. I don't even think she'd win like that. I don't think Danica Patrick can win anyway. The only way she can win is everybody wrecks out and NASCAR decides to go ahead and let her get the car across the finish line. Danica has no chance. Jake says my favorite driver actually is Kenseth. See, I like Kenseth. Kenseth's a good dude. I actually just kind of had him picked as a sleeper pick to win the championship last year. Why do you do all your videos in selfie mode? Main reason I do them all in selfie mode is it makes it easier for me. I don't have a good video camera and a good setup to do everything. One of these days I'm going to get a good laptop to where I can do them off the laptop. And plus with the wife out of town, I have no one to film me. Now I can teach one of my dogs to operate the camera. Yeah, the sky looks good. Yeah, Kansas was close at the Glen last week. I almost thought Kansas could have won it too. And Kansas done good in field mileage races. He's really good at saving gas. I remember it was a race. I think it was 2 seasons ago when it was 2 seasons ago when he first started driving for Gibbs. 5 people ran out of gas, and then he ended up winning the race. If I remember, it was 5 people ran out. And one of those people that ran out was Truex. Okay. Get a tripod. Yeah, I ended up ordering one online. It's funny you mentioned I got a tripod. And the specs I thought were in inches, but it turned out to be in meters. And the thing was like 6 inches long. Or tall. I was like, damn. I got to figure out how to film myself better than doing selfie mode. Okay, that was Pocono 2015. Was that the race where I was talking about with Kansas won on fuel mileage? Where the other 5 guys went out? Yeah, Jake, it was great to see Bubba in Victory Lane. In Falconer, my favorite drink is sweet tea. Used to be Mountain Dew, but I stopped drinking soda about 2 months ago. So yeah, sweet tea, pepperoni pizza. Oh, and fried Twinkies from Walmart. Guys, if you live near a Walmart, I can't stress this enough. Go in the frozen food aisle. Hostess sells them. They're freaking awesome. And taste just as good as they do in the carnival. I'm just outside right now seeing how good the internet works out here. So I might start doing videos out here now. Because the light inside just sucks. Okay. I remember Truex being one of those guys doing it, Sage. Because I remember that race. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was like 4 or 5 guys all just went out, one and out in order. It was like the second to last lap or the last lap, it all happened. I rode 10 miles on my bike this morning. My legs are on fire. Dang, you and Dale Jr. have both been riding that bike all the time, man. I think I might have to start getting into that soon. I'm hitting that age where I gotta do health. Custer, Bell, and Bubba all deserve cup rides, at least in my opinion. I agree with that, Jake. And I mean, there's enough open spots, there's just not enough teams. That's the problem. See, earlier on, I was talking, when I first started watching racing, it was 43 drivers, and every week there'd be 2 or 3 teams that didn't make it into the race. Then when the economy hit, then it started getting worse, and now we can't even get 40 cars in. I don't get that. But you know what was crazy though about Talladega last year though? Now that I'm thinking about crazy wins. Remember at one point in that race, Keselowski drug a jack around for a lap and a half? And won? I mean, that was crazy. All right. What do you think about Kevin Harvick's comments? I think they're unfortunate. I think his timing on it was just wrong. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know whether Kevin Harvick has gotten bitter lately or what's going on. Okay, Jake says BK Racing needs to get the fuck out of NASCAR. Yes, they do. And it looks like the IRS is going to take care of that problem for us. Ah, NASCAR Triple Two. What's up, my man? All right, I'm going to walk back inside. Hopefully nothing happens with the signal. I think they should compare checkbooks. I bet you the Golding family has more money than the freaking BK Racing. But fuck all of them. I mean, Greg Golding shouldn't even be driving for Uber. In my opinion. But it is what it is. I mean, there's always that one team that doesn't belong. No, it was Logano director. Yeah, okay. Maybe I didn't say Logano. Yeah, I thought it was Logano that did that. Jake says, fuck Greg Golding and Danica. Yeah, fuck them both. I mean, one acts like a girl and the other one looks more like a dude. I mean, shit. I mean, BK Racing, I mean, that's just horrible. Hey, bro, do you have a job yet? No, I'm hoping to be starting work either this week or the next week, I hope. You know, I got everything situated with my physical and everything. Yep, I just saw that. Brendan Poole just turned Elliott Sadler. Damn, I'm sorry I missed this race last year when it was in the rain. Everybody was telling me it was really good. NASCAR Triple Two. Fuck Greg Golding, Corey LaJoy, Donica, and Spencer Gallagher. NASCAR Triple Two, buddy. You know, I agree with you 100%. Everything. Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny is if you want a shirt, NASCAR Triple Two of Corey LaJoy's wins, real cheap. All you need to do is get a white Hanes t-shirt, and there you go. That shirt will have the list of every Corey LaJoy win. Yeah, Rick LaJoy, that dude, man, that guy's a caution waiting to happen. I mean, shit. Him and Greg Golding, those two are cautions waiting to happen. Fuck everybody who drives for BK Trash. Yep. And what's funny is, the greatest driver for them was Alex Bowman. They cut him. And now he's taking over for Dale Jr. That just goes to prove there is a God. God looked out for Alex Bowman. He said, look, you put over BK Racing, you got yourself in the top 20 in points. Not the top 20, but 20th in the points. Not exactly 20, but in the 20s. You could do that, you could drive anywhere. You know, I mean, fucking BK Racing. That is like, I mean, I don't understand their point of them being in the thing. I mean, I'm happy they gave Brett Moffitt a chance, but man, I feel bad for Brett Moffitt. Jake says, okay, Shiny Knife. Oh, you're watching the race on delay? Uh-oh. Okay, Jake says, Bowman's a very talented driver. Yeah, I agree. Bowman's gonna do good. I think he'll do well. I think he'll contend for a playoff spot in the 88. NASCAR trips. Michael Nett sucks. Junior needs to drop him next year for Jeffrey Earnhardt. Yeah, I agree. Jeffrey Earnhardt's another guy that has suffered through that BK racing thing and deserves to be on a quality team. I think if you can go ahead and survive at least a season or two in BK racing, you should be entitled to a top tier cup ride. You should. Because that is like suffering. BK Racing is horrible. They're the worst run organization. You can't even keep track of the amount of drivers they've had. Okay, Jake says JGR needs to drop Matt Tiff for Christopher Bell. I think that's what we're going to do, Jake. I think Christopher Bell's going to at least be moved up to Xfinity next year. At least. Also, like what someone said earlier on, Christopher Bell might get to 77. You don't know. The trend seems to be younger drivers. It seems like all the older drivers are getting pushed out before their time. I mean, look at it. You got Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, and Casey Kane with no ride for 2018 so far. 3 quality drivers. 2 of them won championships, won races. They deserve to be in a cup ride. I mean, if I hit the Powerball and open up a team, I can get those three guys, and I have a team of Kane, Kenseth, and Busch, and instantly be credible. You know, it's insane that how the old guys are all getting pushed out relatively early. Okay, Blake Cox, stage 1. Take it easy, Shiny Knife. Good talking to you. Okay, Sealman. Damn. NASCAR Triple. Going through BK Racing is like going through Army Boot Camp. You have to go through hell before you get a permanent job. Yeah, I agree. Going through BK Racing, that if you survive BK Racing, that shows that you want to be a NASCAR driver. Or in Greg Golding's case, it shows that your parents have a lot of fucking money. Fuck Greg Golding, man. That dude, I was already pissed off at him, and then after that shit that LaJoy pulled, I don't remember who, because I remember I was pissed at him that one day, and then NASCAR Triple Two, who's my favorite guy to watch on YouTube. It's my favorite NASCAR guy to watch. It's NASCAR Triple Two. You all guys should subscribe to him. He made a video talking about Greg Golding, I believe, or Corey LaJoy. I can't remember. Go ahead and tell me which one it was, Triple Two, which one he made. But that just set me off on my tangent. It was like that one thing, and I remember it was something like he blocked you on Twitter or something, and that was like the one thing that set me off over the edge. And I've been fuck BK Racing ever since. Yes, I still do dislike stage racing. I'm more irritated with, my problem with stage racing are the two things. I don't like the breaks in between. And I also don't like how they give out those points. Because that's really affecting the playoff scenario. That's why I don't like, because right now, Truex Jr. is pretty much guaranteed to go to Miami. Okay. Jim Thomas says, I didn't know you did live videos. This is my first one. I'm trying to, something new here. Giving it a shot, see how it works. And so far I'm liking it. I'm going to do it more often. Okay, yeah, Triple Two said, it's Greg Golding. I knew it was one of those two, buddy. I knew one of those two because I remember I was already pissed off about some other shit. And I was mad. I was thinking about how stupid they were. And then I got the notification for your video. I watched that, and that was, okay, you messed with my favorite YouTuber and one of my buddies. That's it. It's game fucking on right now. I mean, there's Corey LaJoy and Greg Golding. Those two are, they can't even be fucking Lyft drivers or Uber drivers. I wouldn't trust them delivering pizzas on a bicycle. I mean, they're that fucking horrible. I mean, if they don't get into a wreck, which I think has happened like twice this season, I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, I do agree with you about that Triple Two. The stage breaks I have been using to take a shit. Uh-oh. That's a good question, damn it. I hate this thing how the questions just kind of fade in and out. If you had a choice to drive for BK Racing and be alone in the woods for 10 days, I would choose the woods too. I mean, I pretty much, where I live out in the country, and I mean, I'm pretty much in the woods. I'm 20 miles away from anything, and I love it. I love the quietness. The only time I hear a lot of noise is someone else shooting off one of their guns. I can shoot off guns in my backyard, light off fireworks, hunt, do whatever the fuck I want, and I love it. Okay. Oh, the Pickmaster is here. All right, Rob. Good to see you, buddy. All right, Sage, take it easy, buddy. Glad for you joining in the conversation. I love the questions you asked. They're really good. Hey, Rob, you going to give me picks tonight or tomorrow before the race? BK races is worse than getting Poison Ivy. I'd rather get Poison Ivy. You know what? If I had a choice between BK racing being in NASCAR or getting a vasectomy, I'd rather get the vasectomy. That's how much I dislike BK Racing. I mean, shit. Fuck them. But I don't know what I hate more, though. Do I hate BK Racing or do I hate Danica? I mean, do we know what's going on with Danica yet? I mean, hopefully she's out. That's a good one. Nascar Triple just said, I ain't letting Doctor touch my balls. Fuck it, we'll deal with BK Racing. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I did go a little drastic on that one, but fuck it. Yeah. God, I hate Michael Waltrip's voice. He's just gotten on my nerves to the point I can't stand him. I mean, Michael Waltrip's like the Jar Jar Binks of NASCAR. Just, man. Oh, man. That dude is something stupid. What they need to do is make a law or a rule. Just have Ned Jarrett and Ken Squire do races from here on out. All of them. Clone them if you have to. Get them in holograms. Let them sit at home and commentate the race from a closed circuit television. Just Ken Squire and Ned Jarrett. Those are the only two people. I mean, those are the cream of the crop as far as commentators. Do I agree with Harvick's comments on Junior? I haven't seen the whole thing. I just heard a snippet of it. I mean, I don't agree with the part where he said that Junior is bad for the sport at all. I think Junior's been all right for the sport. The sport, it's always going to come and go with different drivers. There's always going to be someone that's everybody's most favorite. It was like that with Earnhardt Sr. Then there's the Jeff Gordon fad. Oh, God, that used to the hell out of me with the Jeff Gordon fad going on. And the other thing about expectations, I disagree with that whole thing. Everybody always thinks that, he should be good as his son, and they get mad like they're always mad at Kyle Petty because he wasn't good as his dad, Richard. And you know what? Came to NASCAR, won a couple races. Not everybody wins races in NASCAR. He'd say, you know what? As long as he got some wins in him, he was a good ambassador to the sport. He did all right. Okay, what is up with this damn... Harvick isn't as nice as I thought he was. Yeah, Harvick does look like he's kind of a dick. Kyle Petty. Yeah, I agree. Kyle Petty was not bad. Everybody gives Kyle Petty so much shit for everything, and Kyle Petty actually does a good job. He does a good job as an analyst on NASCAR TV. He also, he was a good racer. He won 8 races. He actually was the first driver of the 42 for Chip Ganassi. Okay, Jim Thompson said Harvick was my favorite driver before he made those comments, but fuck him now. Yeah, I will. I want to hear the full interview before I pass judgment on what his comments were. I don't understand it. Maybe there were some things that went on between them two, because I think Harvick drove for Junior's Xfinity team a couple times. Like, I thought they were friends, to be honest with you. I don't know whether something happened between them two. I mean, I just thought it was really odd how comments about them two came out. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't hear the full interview. So I don't know if there's more context to it or what. But yeah, I mean, that was just really strange. Okay, now, the only thing I like about Harvick is the fact that I love some Busch beer. The best damn beer it is. Yeah, my dad, long time, back when Bush was running for office, my dad wanted Bush to get in so bad. He drank before the election, for 90 days before the election, he drank Busch beer saying, I'm helping George Bush get into office. And speaking of sponsorship, Kevin Harvick is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse, which is now probably the worst steakhouse in America. But yeah, I don't get where Harvick's come from. I think they have some bad blood somewhere. So I thought they were cool. All right, now let's see. Maybe that's why he left his Xfinity team. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be where the bad blood started, Jake. Because I thought, I thought they raced the Xfinity together. Something happened between them two, because that was just odd comments to be saying. And Jim just said the worst things ever. What do you say? I really hate the way the comment thing works. 3 worst things ever. Danica, Danica, and Danica. I agree. She is probably the worst thing ever in NASCAR. 6 seasons, and I think she's only had, 2 or 3 top 10s? And I still feel that one of the biggest injustice is when Michael Waltrip Racing went out of business, and Clint Boyer and David Reagan were out of a job essentially at that point. Obviously they got rides now. They were out of a job, and then Danica in that same week gets an extension. And I couldn't help but think, wait a minute, this bitch can't even be competitive, yet you have drivers that won races that can't even get jobs. That makes no sense. I think one of the 3 I previously mentioned from Busch, Kenseth, or Kane, one of those guys needs to be should get a job. And because Danica having a job still, excuse me 1 minute, guys, needs to get a ride. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, Triple Two. That's the $1 million question. Why is Stewart Haas dropping Kurt Busch but not saying they're dropping Danica? That is the $1 million question. Why? Because Tony Stewart is a brilliant racing mind. And why he is not... Why is he keeping Danica? Is the $1 million question. It's actually the $30 million question when you think about it. Because they had to sue Nature's Bakery because they didn't make payments for the sponsorship. So they lost a lot of money on that ride. I am surprised they're still keeping it around. They're keeping her around. I mean, Cole Custer's got momentum around him. You got guys with the names like Kenseth and Kane. There's so many better options for that 10 car. It's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that Danica is racing this rest of the season is an insult on the sport. The fact she's been this long is an insult on the sport. Go Junior. Yeah. Yeah, Rob, I hope he does have a win before Junior retires. Okay, NASCAR Trip says, have you ever tried a Nature's Bakery fig bar? I'd rather eat my own shit. No, I don't eat fig bars or anything that says it's healthy food. I firmly don't do that shit. All that gluten-free crap, I don't buy into all that. If I want to go for a snack, I go for beef jerky or chips. Maybe Custer will go to the 10. Yeah, Custer, I think, could go to the 10 too. Because the way things are trending is going young. You see all the young guys are getting jobs and all the veterans are getting knocked off. So, I mean, that could be all young guys. I mean, heck, Todd Gilliland, who's 16, might get a cup ride soon, but I doubt it because he's only 16. I think there's an age limit of 18 for cup ride. I think. Don't hold me to it. You don't like fig bars? No, I don't like fig bars. I don't like anything designed to make me shit. I agree, Rob. Fig bars do suck. They do definitely suck. Yeah, I don't like any healthy snacks. I mean, I'll eat a salad every now and again, but nah, fuck that. I also don't like light and diet foods either. or stuff that says Heart Smart on it. Because I just know that it's going to taste bad. Okay. Alright guys, well I'm going to get off here because my phone battery is about ready to die. I'm going to do this again though in the near future, probably once a week. Thank you all for your questions. And as always, fuck Toyota.